You know,
Hey,
we're
we're
the same people.
No, we are not the same people. No.
I work for TMZ.
I'm a freelancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask you, man. Like, you know, I know you've had some thoughts on Elon Musk, you know,
Yes.
and the misinformation.
Yes.
But he's offering this $1 million.
I think it's illegal.
I mean, a lot. There's
Here's the thing. They don't want to give. They passed laws in Georgia where they wouldn't let black people have food or water in line. But they'll let a billionaire pass out $1 million.
right.
And obviously, listen. If this is the thing that's funny. Trump's been the Republican standard bearer, the Republican nominee for 10 straight years. Whatever he was going to do, he's going to do. And if it was that, and people need to stop asking why can't she pull away from him, it's why can't he pull away from her? I don't want to hear, I'm tired of hearing about her erosion with young black men. Why is so many old white men not voting for him? Why is Dick Cheney? Why is Geraldo Rivera? Why is Jeff Flake?
But it's so close, though.
It
the
is,
election
okay,
is so
here's the
close.
thing. People keep conflating 2016 with now. In 2016, they're forgetting that 2 weeks before the election, the FBI investigated Hillary Clinton. That's why, that changed the dynamic.
emails, yeah.
Sure did. So I don't think that's going to happen now. I think she's going to win.
No October surprises?
I don't. What can you say about him that is
Everyone knows no one was
Hitler, no Hitler, no Hitler. I think that this man danced for 30 minutes and talked about the size of another man's dick.
Yeah, this shit was crazy.
And so if that's what you think, he's...
That was Arnold Palmer, though, to his credit.
I'll never drink another Arnold Palmer. Especially with a straw, not now.
No more.
But I think that you see it's a farce. If you have a message, tell it. Why is Elon Musk lying?
Right.
He bought Twitter to break it down to lie. He's so rich, he bought a media apparatus just to spread lies. And why the misinformation? Why telling us Haitians eat
But
raw?
every swing state they're saying is within 1 point.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
And it could go either way.
Sure. It's
right?
about turnout.
Are you worried though about the prospects of another Trump?
Of course,
term?
and that's why I'm working every day to make sure that doesn't happen. That's why I just left Atlanta to do a summit with black men. But I think that there also is an attempt. The thing is, she has been the Democratic nominee for less than 120 days. And she already came up with a plan and an agenda for black men. Like I said earlier, he's been the Republican nominee for 10 straight years. Since 2016, 2015, he's been the Republican nominee. And the stunt working at McDonald's, I worked at McDonald's in 1978, I made $2.65 an hour. He pretended to work there in 2024 and they make $7.25 an hour.
And he doesn't want to raise the minimum wage.
And 46 years later, the job I had pays only $4 more an hour, or $5 more an hour. That's ridiculous. That's untenable.
Yeah.
And instead of pretending to work at McDonald's, he should actually give a fuck about people who have to.
There's a lot of people who are, again, they're not happy with Kamala. They're not happy with the way that she's
But they
handled
know,
a lot of things.
okay,
they're voting third party.
Okay.
Trump's not an option.
Well, then that's the vote for him. So they can do whatever. I think early vote totals, no one knows what they mean, but they certainly...
They look good?
Well, I don't know if they look good or not, but I do know this. The one thing that they've tried to erode is her enthusiasm. And I think the media has played a large part in that when they're asking her questions that they're not asking him. This dude got on TV and told everybody...
The bar for him is lower, that's why. They don't expect...
How is a white man...
I'm just saying.
It is.
The bar is
How
lower.
is the bar lower?
Right.
How's the bar lower? And he's the guy who had the job.
Because they don't expect much out of him.
Then why should he be president?
Right. You said you did some work trying to reach out to black men.
Yes.
How big is that gap? And is it? Do you feel like there was some progress that she made?
What
by
I'm
putting in
not
that
going
work?
to do is let a bunch of pollsters tell me what black men think. The quickest way, the truth to me is, the quickest way to, I can't trust the polls, I do know this. The quickest way to make a black dude lie to you is to ask him a question with a clipboard in your hand.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's saving the whale or Greenpeace or anything else.
Look, we're seeing Kamala bring out the celebrities, Eminem, Springsteen.
Yeah.
Does that?
So is Trump.
And you're right.
Only they're
except they're like.
Here's the thing that's funny.
Yeah.
He told black people that if they don't vote for him, they need the head exam. And then he bought out Tommy Hitman Hearns and Antonio Brown, two black men who actually need the head exam.
Yeah.
Everybody who get hit in the head a lot seems to love Trump. I don't care.
Yeah.
He should have not only black for Trump, it should be black with CTE for Trump.
Listen, there was something made of Taylor Swift's endorsement for Harris.
Sure.
However, it seems like she's kind of not really done that much after that.
What did she need to do?
Well, I mean,
she said that she's
anything
voting
else.
for him.
Anything else?
What did she need to do? She's done a powerful thing. Here's the thing. I think that this race ultimately is going to come down to. I think women are motivated. I think
Abortion.
The abortion issue, I think men are motivated by that. I think we're motivated by stopping Project 2025. I think that the fact that I remember 4 years ago there were Georgia or Arizona weren't in play. The polls were in favor of him there, and he ended up losing. People forget that in 2016 he won Detroit by 10,000 votes the first time. And after that, James Comey put his finger on the scales of the election and committed performed an investigation upon the top of the ticket nominee days before the election. That's why he won that.
And then it turned out to be like
But
burger,
still, it was enough to tip. We don't have that now. Now it's, hey, look, we're going to do what we can. You're going to do what you can. I don't think this. I do think that if Trump were as confident if his internal polls were so confident, he wouldn't be saying I was asking for Biden to come back into the race. He wouldn't be. He wouldn't be pre-suing people. He sees he's in trouble. And all that needs to happen if we all show up like we need to, this won't even be
Listen,
close.
people are flat out saying if Trump gets reelected, it's the end of democracy as we know it.
It is.
You truly believe that?
But listen, if you're a white guy, maybe not. But if you're anything, a white straight guy, maybe not. But everybody else disbanded the Department of Education. So if you disband the Department of Education, right? Who goes there? Poor black and brown people, right? Who's in public school? If you disband them and you kick out the immigrants, who do you think gonna get those jobs? Those gonna be black jobs, right?
Yeah.
So it is a destruction of this country. So people can take it lightly, and I think it tells.
There's reports now that saying that he wants generals to be like Hitler's generals.
He did say it.
Yeah, no, I know.
So I think we were talking about what was going on in Gaza and all that. We're talking about that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, he's going to be worse because he didn't think Netanyahu went far enough. You can have your principal arguments later, but if ultimately we'll see what kind of country we'll have on November 6th.
What do you think happens in a Trump
I'm not going to even
in
think
Ukraine?
about it. I'm not going to think about it. Well, yeah, obviously. I don't know who thinks this guy. People forget he didn't cause COVID, but he handled it so fecklessly that people died. People don't remember that there was no leadership at all, none. We had to watch.
We had trucks and bodies were piling up and morgues were full and
it's a testament to how well Biden governed that they can forget it. Things are so good now they get to look back at those times. Things are so
well. The United States economy is actually the best in the world right now.
Of course it is.
It's the best in the world right now
because of governance. Everybody went through inflation. Ours came down faster and didn't get as severe because we had a guy.
Stock market's better than it ever was.
Ever. So let's be clear. People who are.
But we have more wars than ever, so that sucks.
Wars, okay.
But we have more wars than ever.
Let's be clear.
That stinks.
Let's be clear.
Nobody likes war, right?
More people died during his handling COVID than all the wars pretty much all the wars we've ever fought combined.
True.
So I'll take wars on that. We can't tell leaders not to have wars. But you think just because I'm a white guy in the office, wars ain't gonna start?
It doesn't bother you that the military-industrial complex is making all this money off these wars? You know what I mean?
Of course it does. It bothered me in Iraq. It bothered me in Afghanistan. That's what's happened. But I will say something.
They're the ones getting rich off this.
Right. When Dick Cheney, who's probably one of the evilest men that ever been in
now endorsing Kamala.
That tells you how evil he thinks he is. I shot my best friend, but I can't vote for him.
Yeah.
That tells you, man. Hey, man, it's
all right.
always
Deal. Listen, it's always good. It's always good. I appreciate you, man.
Out here, man.
Thank you. You too.
Always good.